Hey you guys, it's Tonya, and today I want to take you through a step-by-step process of me making this beautiful card. The card size is the standard A2 size, which is 4 and it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So let's go ahead and get started. I have taken out the Teresa Collins memorabilia line. This is a 6x6 pad. I've made several projects with it, and my goal this year is to come back to these unfinished little paper pads and use them up. I really want to use what's in my stash this year for a lot of different things. So for the card, I'm going to start out, like I said, with 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it opens in this direction. And before I do anything, I want to go ahead and use my this is the crocodile corner chomper, and I'm going to use the 1/4 inch rounder. I'm going to go ahead and round the edge of the card. Then the next thing I want to do is I have pulled out a couple of pieces here from the stash. I've already pre-cut everything so that it will make the tutorial go quicker. So I'm going to take this piece. This is from the collection. I think this was actually a pattern from the 12 by 12 that was a piece of scrap, and it's 4 1/4 and roughly 3 inches long. So I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the card. And I'm not going to put any adhesive here in the center because I want to be able to tuck some things in a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. Make sure you get it on there straight before you glue it down. And I'm kind of going up towards, a 1/2 inch from the top. Okay. Then for this piece, I have a frame that was a piece from the die cut. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. The die cuts pieces came with a chalkboard white on one side, and then they had a color on the other side. So I want the color side to stay up. And then I've just cut out a piece of scrap from of black cardstock to fill that in. So I'm just going to add a little ATG tape to the sides of it. And the frame center is 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. So that's going to go there. And then the next thing I want to do is I have this piece. This is just a piece of scrap, and I'm going to go ahead and cut out a little flag out of the bottom here. I'm not quite sure where I want that yet, but I think it's going to poke out about right there. Then also from the collection, this is just a piece of scrap that was left over, so it's actually a little bit longer than what I need, but I'm going to go ahead and cut my tail off before I cut the top to fit, so I know roughly where to put it. So I want it to be a little elevated from the bottom of the card. So I'm going to just go ahead and glue that down. And again, I'm only putting my adhesive towards the center, so if for some reason I want to come back and tuck something in a few minutes, I will have plenty of space for that. Okay. Now, once I've got that in place, I can determine the placement of this banner. And I think I want it, maybe this one, to come up just a little bit further, because I want to be able to see this sticking out at kind of a different level and maybe going all the way to the bottom. So I'm happy with the placement of that. I'm going to put just a little spot of glue right there. Hold that down. Then I also have another little piece of scrap in here somewhere. I've misplaced it. Maybe in here. It'll turn up as I go. So we're going to just keep moving on. Oh, here it is. This was just a little tiny piece of nothing scrap. and I really wanted it to kind of sit right here on top like that. So I want to go ahead and build out these layers before I begin to put my frame on, because then that gives me an idea of placement for my frame. So it's going to sit right there like that. And then the next thing I want to do is take my frame, make sure I get the right side up. I think I want this point to be up here towards the top. And because I think I need to pull this down just a little bit. And this maybe needs to come down just a little bit. There we go. That's what I like about the ATG tape, is you have plenty of time to pull things up if you need to. Before I glue my frame down, I want to go ahead and take some twine. This is just some metallic and cream colored twine that I got during the holidays. And again, it's using what is in your stash. And I'm just going to wrap it around several times here at the bottom. I think at least 3 times, but sometimes I go several times. That was the buzzer for my dryer going off. So, just going to tie that into a knot. When I do several wraps around something like this, I like to tie it into a knot first and then tie my bow, because then my twine is secure and I will be able to kind of move these little pieces out a little bit and fuss with them and spread them out without it coming untied. So I'm just going to tie a little quick bow. I know it's been a while since I've done a tutorial on my YouTube channel. I've been doing a lot of blog posts, so if you're not a follower of my blog, please go check it out. I have several blog posts there that I do not post on YouTube. They're unique to the blog. So I invite you to go over and check it out, and there will be a link to my blog down in the description below, so you can easily find it. So I'm going to just trim those edges up and figure out my placement. I think I want that there. Now, because it's sitting uneven because of this twine, so I want to add a little bit of dimensional adhesive here. And then that's going to be placed right here. Like that. Then I'm going to take a little, this is a die cut. I just used some scraps from this cardstock and it matched really beautifully, and I used the Tim Holtz die cut. This is the Movers and Shapers telephone, vintage phone. And I'm just going to place it right here. I've already die cut it out. I was going to use it on a different project, so it's been in my scrap pile. And I had heat embossed some clear enamel on it. Now, it just happens to match perfectly, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. I highly recommend that you take your scrap piles every now and then and go through and pre-die cut some elements like this. It makes your cards come together so much faster. And it gives you some nice little things for tucking in on your layers and things like that for your layouts. And I'm just adding a little bit of an adhesive here. And I want my phone to kind of stick up a little bit and kind of off the frame. Then I'm going to take a piece of washi tape. This is the Teresa Collins washi tape that came with this collection. And again, this is the memorabilia line. And it's the yellow. And I think what I want, I'm going to cut it a little longer than I need. And I'm going to put it here. And then I'm going to wrap it around this banner piece. It just gives a nice layer there to break up all of that dark blackness. And then I have my little hello ticket, and again, this came from the die cuts from the collection, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a little piece of foam adhesive to that as well. And this is just a little piece that I had left over from the piece I just cut. And I'm going to overlay it just over this washi tape just a little bit. And now it's time for, I really don't like this negative space here, but I don't want to put a lot of things in this space because I need it to stay kind of airy and light. So that's where these enameled dots will come into play. These are the ones from the collection. And since my phone is blue and my yellow is here, I want to make sure that I use one of these colors, the neutral colors, towards the top. And because the frame is this color, I want to make sure I use it on the black or off over here. And since this is pretty much the same color, the black is a great spot for that. And then the next one is I'm going to take this blue dot and maybe stick it here. And then I want a yellow dot, and I think I might go with the big one just for space, and put it here. So it's furthest away from the washi, and this is furthest away from the phone, and then this is furthest away from this section. So there's our little card. Because this is sticking out at the top, I just like to flip it over and then just trim away anything that is overhanging. So simple little card. It took less than 12 minutes to make. It's a great simple card that you can easily duplicate several times and have in your stash. These little cards like this are really a great way for you to use up some of those scraps that you have left over from layouts and things like that too. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, there will be a post down below that will accompany this card on my blog that will give all the details of the supplies used to create this simple little card. Thanks for watching.